informed, and we always had Power in the Six come and Power Tools, and that's like I'll never forget like when I first got my first Walkman. I'd always like on Saturday nights. I'd act like I was going to sleep, and I'd put my headphones on, and I would listen to Power Tools till like 3 a.m.
Right on.
And my mom was thought I was asleep, but yeah, I don't know. I just love.
Where's my Walkman at, honey?
Yeah, no, I had my own. And she called me a few times. She's like, Cabrona, ya vete a dormir. And I'm like, oh, listening to like Richard Humphrey Vision and just like always wanting to party. I remember my sister she's like maybe 6 years older than me. She was going, a part of a party crew. And I remember being like 11, 10 years old and just sitting at the window crying because she wouldn't take me. Like, I swear, like a 19, 20-year-old is going to take an 11-year-old.
Yeah, come on,
But
sis.
I wanted to go out.
That was me too.
I was like, no, why can't she take me with her? But yeah, I don't know. I just love like the house, like that, 90s Latin flavor, some freestyle. That was just like, that hooked me in the beginning.
Right on. Right
Yeah.
on. So were your parents supportive in your venture of being a DJ, or?
I wouldn't say so much. I mean, I was grateful enough. I mean, I'm lucky enough that my mom did get to see me DJ once. Unfortunately, they're not with me anymore. They're older. I was the youngest. I was like an oops baby. My dad was 50 when I was born. My mom was 42. So
Yeah, that's oops all the way.
yeah, that's definitely oops for sure. I was a pain in their ass like growing up, and yeah, I mean, I used to like sneak out the window at 15 and like hitch a ride to like raves and stuff. Like
Nice.
I remember hitching a ride all the way up to Juju Beats once, and I was only like 16 years old. I remember we parked and we were walking up the mountain. I just saw the lights gleaming.
That's
over
dope.
and I could hear the bass, and I was like, that's when I was like, damn, like I arrived. Like,
Yeah,
this
here
is
it is.
it.
Yeah, I landed.
Yeah, I have landed on the mothership. Yeah, but I mean, my mom was always supportive of everything that I did, but me DJing didn't really come until after they're gone.
Right on. Bandit.
What is it about DJing that makes you passionate? Like when you see like the crowd, or I don't know if you're a streamer, but what makes you passionate?
I think just because growing up, I was also a part of the party crews, and we're always dance. I consider myself a dancer first, like, and so whether there's one person there or nobody there, sometimes, just being able to like play music that I feel like I'm dancing, I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
I'm, I'm feeling it. At the end of the day, like, that's where my passion comes from, is like being able to play music that I feel like goes through my soul, like, and hopefully if somebody hears it, they like it and they can dance. But I mean, it's really is. I kind of play for myself.
There you go. That's all that matters. You gotta love yourself too. You know what I mean? Were you ever playing sports in high school or school? Were you ever involved in sports?
Oh God, that was a big fail. I mean, honestly, I was the baby, so my mom, she let me get away with murder, and I think I tried like softball once, and then when they made me run, I was like, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
And in high school, I didn't want to do PE, so I was like, F this, I need to, join the sport. And the only thing I liked was swimming. So I did swimming for a little bit. And now it's like, my kids they all played sports. And my two youngest, they're volleyball. And I'm a volleyball mom, like 100%. Like, yesterday we were at the game, and the parents were like, man, this is hard work, even though the kids are on the court.
Yeah.
We're like cheering and like screaming and like,
all
it's
involved.
a full-time job being a freaking sports mom, for sure. But yeah, no, my parents, my mom didn't drive. My dad worked like so hard. And so I didn't really see him a lot. He was always working. He worked at a casino, so he worked off hours, and then It was just like my mom was just like a stay-at-home mom that didn't drive, didn't speak English. So, you know, when I did do like sports, she didn't really show up. So now it's like I make it a point. Like I don't care if like I'm like no matter what,
Yeah.
I am there.
I get it.
I am there for every single game. But yeah, my sport now is raving. You burn a lot of calories for sure, raving.
For sure. Sweat it all out.
Yeah.
How would you describe the music that you typically play now?
Currently, I would say it's transitioned. It's gotten faster and faster, but it's definitely not fast as like the new kids are playing techno nowadays. Like they're at like 150 BPM sometimes, and I'm just like, dude, like I'm gonna get hurt. Like I'm too old for that. So my sweet
Bring out the
spot-
stretcher.
Yeah, I'm like I gotta like do some stretches and stuff. But I think my sweet spot right now is like anywhere from 128 to like 142. So it varies. I like anything that's like really dirty. I don't like a lot of vocals. If they do have vocals, I love vocals that sound like spooky
Dope.
or like very dark. Yeah, just dark and dirty and deep, I would say.
Nice.
Whether it's house or whether it's like whatever it is, like I just love like that really deep, dirty sound.
Nice. What was your favorite TV show growing up? Or did you watch TV?
Ooh. Yeah, I did. I mean, come on, I grew up in the 90s, like so that was like the only thing. Like we didn't have like cell phones and stuff, so it was like waking up in
We
the
were normal kids.
Yeah, normal kids waking up, serving yourself a bowl of cereal, and sitting in front of the TV in the kitchen, And I just remember, I don't know, I like Animaniacs when I was young. As I grew up, I loved watching Saved by the Bell. That was like for sure, like no matter if it was always playing, and I was always watching it. I love Lucy. I always find myself in like I Love Lucy situations, so I love her. Even till this day, I have a 24/7 I Love Lucy channel.
There it is, the
Nice.
TMC network.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. And then Friends, I'm a big Friends fanatic.
Okay. What is your biggest fear?
Birds. Straight
Uh-oh.
up.
Birds. Huh?
Yeah, I hate birds.
How did that come about?
I just have a phobia. So, and I usually don't
Any
talk
bird.
about that. I don't talk about it. I don't like to say it. I don't like people to know because then they're like, oh, let's see if she's really scared.
Yeah.
And then it turns into like something like
Will
traumatic.
you kiss my parrot?
Yeah, no. Like they just flew by right now, and I was like, "Why? Who invited the
Yeah,
birds?
where's the BB gun at?
What the hell? I don't know. I just
the
when I was
slingshot
young,
out.
my neighbor used to fight roosters, and as you get older, your memories are few and far in between. And a memory that I will never forget is they got raided and they jumped over the fence, and my mom was like, hide them in the garage, and then she sent me to the garage to get something, and I like got attacked, and it's just crazy because I was born on the year of the rooster, but like something always happens with birds with me. Like I used to work at a check cashing company. You have those security
Yeah.
glasses. Tell me why a freaking pigeon flies right in my freaking window and just falls like right there. I screamed. I ran into the restroom. They couldn't get me out
Wow.
for like 2 hours. They're like, it's gone. We took it out. I was like, no, I don't trust nobody. I'm like, no. I don't like any kind of bird. Anything that has a feather, I just don't like it. I don't know. They're very unpredictable, and it's funny thing is that when I was young, I had a cockatoo growing up, and my mom would let it fly around. And every time it would fly around, I'd go hide in my room and sit at the door and just cry. She's like, "It's not gonna do anything," and I'm like, "Why do you torture me?" Like I don't know. I just don't like birds. That's like my biggest fear. Other than that, I have nightmares about like DJing and my music being like error.
Oh, shit.
Or I like, yeah, I mean, it happens. Sometimes somebody kicks the power and stuff, but where it's like error or like I'll cue it and then it just like the music just like starts and like 2 minutes later just stops. Like I just, especially coming up to a gig, I always have nightmares about that. That's like a big fear of mine right now.
What skill do you need to be a DJ right now, or back then, or just in general? What skill do you need to have?
I don't know. I think for me, definitely like just having a good ear. You have to be able, like, my ears are very sensitive. I I don't know. I figured out I'm very mathematical, and when it comes to DJing, I everything's a formula. And I've talked to some DJs that are like, "What do you mean? Like you add this minus this divided by two?" And I'm like, still worried. Like it's just that's the way I DJ. Like everything's like mathematical and calculated, and um, other than that is just being able to like find your own style. I think a lot of times, you hear the same songs like over and over. Um, especially with like the vocals type tracks. Not so much in techno because techno it's hard to tell that it's the same song because they all sound the same, anyways, right? But like with house, I'm just like it's the same vocal, just like the 10th remix of it. So be able to like just have a good ear and like dig deep for like tracks. Like for me, it's be able to find stuff that I can like honestly say like nobody's heard this. Like for me, like that is a treasure, and like it's like when I play it, it's like it's so satisfying. So being able to like do that, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, like I started DJing with just recently. I started DJing and I use earplugs now because I'm like shit. I'm getting old and I gotta protect my ears. So definitely.
Yeah, or when Orlando played here, he was after a little while. He was like, "My ears are hurting." That's we've been doing it so much that pounding is just
and then,
you know what I mean. It affects us after a little while.
and then you're done with the gig and you're on this high and it's like everything but then you have that like it's like I have to protect my ears. I want to freaking play till I'm like 90 years old, right? So I started DJing. I spoke to someone. I'm like, what do you think about? Because I never go out to parties without my earplugs. Because I like feeling the bass and being in front of the speakers. I don't like being in the back. So I always have my earplugs. And I was like, well, how do you feel about DJing with earplugs? And she's like a well-respected, somebody I look up to. And she's like, dude, I do it all the time. You'll get used to it, but it sounds better. And when you're like at a party and when you put the earplugs in, it just like changes. Like it's a lifesaver and game changer for sure, because you hear the bass more. You like kind of tune out the highs so much, and I'm all about the bass. So I'm like, so I started DJing with that, and it's like I gotta protect them because that's like at the end of the day, if my hearing goes, shall I be train wrecking? I won't even know. Like hell no.
Everyone like that crash?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite DJ?
Oh, I love Chris Liebing. I
Who?
love him. Chris Liebing, he's a German producer, and I love his smile. I love everything he does. I love Richie Houghton. Yeah, they're like techno producers. I definitely like. They do a lot of like live shit on the fly as well as like playing. So I really like enjoy that. Like it's not just like letting two songs play, like they add to it and it's just like a build up of it. So I like that. I don't know, I think in the house realm, I don't know, somebody that I'll never say no to seeing is I don't know, it's been a while. Oh man, that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one. I can't name someone that I like automatic. Like I love Derek Carter. Like him,
Right on.
if he's playing, like I will always go see him for sure. I love him. I don't know. I love Dan Bell. Dan Bell's more like a deep house, and he plays on records. And usually when he plays for like at least 4 hours. Sometimes he does all night, like all night events, just him. I'm like, that's very narcissistic of him, but I love it because it's just like such a like journey. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you can't really do much with like 30 minutes or an hour.
Got it. No, that's true.
Steve
very
Chris
true.
said he's your favorite. Who? Steve Chris.
Oh, there you go. You know Steve Chris?
I think I've met we like a long time ago when I used to go out and like back in the days. I think I remember him from when I was just talking about my my hoochie mama days. Back in the days with going to like Havana House and like Crazy Horse.
Yeah, the Crazy Horse was the place. Yeah.
Oh my God! I'm glad I had that. Like I had like a good year of just like that. Go, that craziness with like. It wasn't so much EDM, but because they would play a lot of freestyle and stuff.
For sure.
So, but yeah, I think Chris leaving for all. My husband knows like. If ever, I actually asked him once. He was playing at Sound in Hollywood, and I was like, "Marry me, please," and he's just laughed. And I'm like, "Dude, I'm serious." Like,
Yeah, I'm serious. After you're done with that record, let's go to
let's
Las
go.
Vegas and get married. Bandit.
Do you have any upcoming gigs the viewers can check you out at?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm playing this Sunday for Reform. So Reform is a collaboration of like some. Like probably like 3 or 4 of like the biggest LA underground techno events, promoters that are in LA right now. It's 6 a.m., Dirty Epic, Synthetic Minds, and they all get together and throw a Reform. So they're doing an event on, this is their second one. The first one was freaking amazing, and it's going off of Long Beach on the Catalina Express.
Oh, very dope.
Yeah, so that'll be pretty cool. I'm opening for Dax J. For those of you who don't know techno, definitely look him up. Dax J is, he's definitely takes you on a journey, and to be able to open up for him, and I know for sure he's gonna have to check me out because he has to be on the boat, right? Like they're not gonna helicopter him in. And so I'm like so nervous for that, but at the same time like super excited. So I'll be opening for that. I'll be playing 5 to 7, and it's going out of Long Beach. I'll post the link on the Instagram, and if you guys follow me on Rosie Love LA, it's all over my page. Yeah, I haven't been really getting a lot of gigs lately. I've been trying to focus on mom life, and
Nothing wrong with that.
and it takes a lot. It takes a lot. A gig is just, and I just feel it's not fair to the promoter or to myself to like not really give it 100. I like to give everything 100% or 110%, and if I can't devote 110% of my time to help promote the event, then I don't want to do it. See, here they come again.
Oh. Is that Rosie over there?
So this is actually the first gig where I'll be playing. Like I played a couple of weeks ago for my birthday, and I did a back-to-back set with Gerard from Incognito, and that was cool. But I felt like we were kind of like playing off of each other, so that was fun. But it wasn't really like my full like my sound.
Got it.
So I'm very excited for this gig because the music I have so far is like.
And that's this Sunday in Long Beach.
This Sunday, the boat leaves at like I think at 6. They start letting people on at 5, and it's this Sunday out of Long Beach. If you look it up, it's October 8th. It's called Reform presents Dax J and Rosie Love.
Nice. Do you have any accomplishments or goals outside of DJing that you'd like to hit or, work on?
Well, I did go back to school, like in 2015. After my mom passed away, I was like, shit, like, I got nobody to, like, bail me out anymore. Like, so I decided to go back to school, and I graduated in class of 2020, right when the pandemic started. So
What was your major?
I majored in advertising and marketing. So out of Cal State Fullerton, go Titans.
Right on. They have a good baseball team.
Yeah, for sure. My daughter's there right now. My oldest, who's 24, she's gonna graduate in the spring with her accounting degree with a minor in computer science.
Right on.
And then my middle child, who just graduated from high school, she's attending Cal State Fullerton too, and she's studying to be hopefully a nurse. A physician's assistant or a respiratory therapist. So, and then my baby. But other than that, I mean, accomplishments. Being able to do all this while sober is definitely a big deal, a big part of my life right now. Coming up on, I just passed 4.5 years sober, so doing that and being able to show up to the gig and not be like, fuck, I'm too fucked up, like,
yeah.
Or there was one time where it was my event and I was closing out the night at King and they freaking kicked me out.
Damn.
Before my set. I was like, how dare you? Because I was like,
just because I'm laying down on the floor doesn't mean
just because I
kick me
closed
out.
my eyes for a second.
I needed to take a nap.
Oh man, the stories, like, and then I thought it was a good DJ, but apparently not. Like now, just the technical aspect and just be able to like learn new tricks and just like every time I watch someone, I always watch someone that always learns something new and be able to like go home and practice it and just be better. Not if I wasn't sober, I wouldn't be able to like pick up on that shit. So. That's definitely like my biggest accomplishment for sure.
Nice. What has been your favorite place to play or your favorite performance?
I mean, I would say like back in 2000, there was a good run that I had where I was like, playing like at least once a month. And doing undergrounds left and right.
Nice.
And I remember there was a warehouse off of like where the Blue Line runs off Washington and like before San Pedro, and they used to have big events, and it was like this huge deep ass, like maybe would hold like 1,000 people capacity. Nice. And I remember opening for Lucy there. It was, some guy kissed my hand. I have a picture of it. He was like literally like, thank you. That was like one of my biggest and best gigs for sure. That was like probably 2011. Recently, like I said, I haven't been really playing out too much, but right before COVID, I got to play for Compound, and I did a side room with a few techno DJs, but in the main room was Panpot, and that event, it was huge. It was huge, and being able to like, anytime I play on a warehouse, honestly, and as long as it's not an opening slot, that's my favorite gig. Don't get me wrong. I love opening slots. You definitely have to play differently than if you were like playing at 2 a.m. I feel like playing at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. I could just unleash, and play whatever the hell I want. Opening sets, I'm so like critical of myself, and I overthink everything. So I'm always like, is it too hard? Is it too fast? Is it, you want to set the night up right. You don't want to be like freaking banging it out at 10 p.m. So, yeah, I think I'll never forget. And I opened for DVS1 at the KGB Studios back in the days when they had KGB Studios on Spring Street.
Yeah, that was a spot.
That was a dope spot. So being able to play there and opening for DVS1 was definitely like, that was huge because, I just remember showing up. I parked and I opened the door and I threw up.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Like,
I'm here, everybody.
Yeah. I was like, all right, give me some vodka Swish. All right, let's go. Right. But that was like one of my biggest gigs. I mean, my favorite for
Nice.
sure.
Nice.
What makes you happy?
Oh, what makes me happy? I mean, seeing my kids happy. That definitely. Um, I'm just trying to focus on them and making sure, like, my youngest just turned 16 on Monday, and I'm just like, I spent a lot of their young years like partying and DJing and following, like chasing that gig and chasing the next drink and chasing the next party, that I just feel like I wasted so much time. So seeing them now, just like how they've become and how amazing they are, like that makes me happy. And a good freaking bass drop. Like, oh my God. Like there's times
Hold on,
I'm-
kids. Here's the bass.
Yeah. Like a good bass drop. Like there's times where I'm like, oh my God, my heart just skipped a beat with that one. Like it's just, I love it. I love to go out. I love the music. Like I love, if, I know a lot of people who like are like, oh, I'm not gonna drink anymore. So you just never see them again. So, and then they come back and they're like, what happened? Oh, I had to like take a step back. Well, if I didn't have like the speakers and the parties and like that makes me happy. Like literally this weekend I'm going tonight to see a Motic, and then I have to get my my set ready for Sunday tomorrow all day. And then I'm gonna go see Dax J at the warehouse on Saturday night. And I have to wake up and then get ready and go play on a boat. So, yeah, definitely. I love dancing. Dancing makes me happy.
Right on.
Yeah.
Is there anyone out there you'd like to collaborate with that you haven't already?
That I haven't already. I would say. Well, I'm just starting to learn how to produce. It's something that's been a long time coming. I know for a fact that the only way that I'll be able to get to the level that I want to be at, where I don't have to put in so much work, is I know for a fact it has to be starting to produce. So, I've been working with, I don't know. I have a good friend, Travarsi. She's great. She does a lot of live sets. She does all like analog and stuff. So being able to like do a hybrid set with her, maybe. I've been like asking her, let's do it, but she's too busy traveling. I don't know. Who else? I always love collaborating with, when it's house music. I love collaborating with Olga. I know she's out in Mexico right now. That's why she's not here. But she's she's a big reason why I ended up like DJing. Like I was literally at, like, even though I like touched turntables here and there in my young years, like we ended up at her place after hours, and everyone was too fucked up to play. So I just started playing records, and everyone's like, have you played before? And I'm like, no. And she was like, oh my God, you're so good. Obviously, we're all fucked up, so can't take that for much, just face value. But collaborating with her, playing with her, is always a good time for sure. But we'll see what happens right now with producing. I'm just trying to like keep my head down and learn as much as I can.
Right on.
Right on.
If you were going to write a book, what would you name it and what would it be about?
I actually did start a journal, and it's like one day I'm gonna write a book.
Very cool.
And it's, I don't know, kind of cheesy, but
It's about Spider-Man.
no, I would call it "It's Never Too Late to Be Great." I know that, I'm a grandma now, so if I start producing, and I know that really if I like become famous, I might be sharing a stage with my granddaughter. Who cares? I don't know. She, every time I play, she just wants to like push the buttons, and she's like, show me. She's only like 4, but yeah, it's never too late to be great. I think sometimes time passes us by so quickly, and there's it's really discouraging when you see so many like youngins out there doing it big and like, but it's like it doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, like our journey's our journey, and I know that no matter what, it might have taken me a longer time, but I can't take my eye off the prize for sure. Like my goals are, I know what I want, and I'm not gonna stop till I get it.
Right on. What are your talents in your spare time? What do you like to do?
I don't know. Like currently, I'm like, my husband got me into pickleball.
That's a cool game.
And it's like everyone's like, that's like for old people. I was like, well, I'm old. But you go to the court and you see all these young people, and I'm like, these aren't old people. I feel old, right? And,
They lied to me.
Yeah, that's like we go like literally like 4 times a week.
It's a fast-growing sport too.
Dude, it's crazy. We were just there last night playing from like 7 to 10 p.m.
Damn.
It's a good workout.
Yeah, it is. It is. And he swears he's gonna go pro, and I'm like, you do that, go ahead. So I'm just there for support, but I actually really enjoy it. So I definitely it has a really small, quick learning curve, and it's like playing ping pong, and slamming the ball is like fun. Other than that, I mean, I don't know. I love math. I'm trying to go back to school. I'm hoping to go back to school and get my master's in data analytics, and my goal right now is to get my master's before my daughter gets her bachelor's. So she just started.
Okay.
She just graduated from high school last year, so I have 4 years. And I'm like, hey, maybe we'll graduate together. She's like, Mom, can I have my moment? I'm like, sure, okay, I'll do it before you. So I have
2
literally
weeks.
like 3 years to get it done. So yeah, I think that's a talent I have. I love numbers. I love analyzing shit, and I bring it into my DJing. Everything's like, I don't know, it's weird. It's all numbers.
Right on. I'm gonna question from one of our viewers. 9BL Music. So, what kind of pizza do you like?
Let's see.
It has to have pineapple.
No. Actually, I just recently I went to go see Underworld, and we went to go eat at some pizza place right across the street from USC, and they had a thin crust Alfredo pizza.
Oh.
Oh, which I love, and I love a good margarita pizza. Yeah, I like it simple.
Yeah, margaritas
sure.
are good. Spinach and cheese.
I love margarita pizza. I'm not a big fan of like Chicago or like deep dish. I like thin crust.
There's Rances in Long Beach has that super thick crust, man. It's like 3 inches high.
It's too
delicious.
much.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's too much. I like thin crust.
How do you stay up to date with music, and do you write music?
No, I don't write music. I haven't. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe in my head. I find myself hearing a beat, and I'm like, oh shit, that sounds like the breakdown from this track, and then I'll like search it, and then I'll like text it to myself, and then so I can remember, so I could use that little like interlude or something, and then loop it, and then put it into a track. Cause I'll hear songs, and I'm like, oh, that sounds like the beginning of New Order, but it's not. It's a techno track. So I don't know. Like it just every time I hear a track, I always like try to like decipher it. I'm like, hey, that sounds like this, but and if it does sound like something that I've heard before, where it's like old school, I find myself like sending it to myself, or sometimes I'll be falling asleep and I'll hear a song in my head, and I'll like wake up and I'll text it to myself so I don't forget. Yeah, staying up to date with music. I don't know. It's a really deep rabbit hole that is. I use Bandcamp a lot, and Bandcamp is not as user friendly as Beatport or Tracksources. Where Tracksource, you could just type in like, I want 132, I want this genre, and then it just like boop, And with Bandcamp, you have to dig a little deeper, and I feel like a lot of some artists don't even release on Beatport; they only do Bandcamp. yeah, I'm always digging there. And then, well, there's people like recording at a music festival or an event or an underground. I'm over here like low pro, like freaking Shazamming everything I can, right? And I'm
With your
just
Sony
like,
Walkman.
damn. Yeah, with like, right? I'm like, I know it. I know I hear it. I'm like Shazamming, I'll be listening to like, mixes in the car of like artists that I love, and then from there, I look for the track, and then if it's an artist I'd never heard of, I start listening to their discography, and then I see what labels they released on, and then I look at their labels, and it's just like never ending. Like right now, I have for the first time ever, I'm not going to be downloading. I say that I'm not. I'm not going to be downloading music on the day of the gig like I did today. Because I was downloading literally like at noontime, like for today. But, yeah, I have my music set, and I said I'm not going to dig again. I'm not going to look, because if I do, it's going to be like all this new music that I purchased over the weekend is just not even gonna get touched, because I'm gonna like get a.
I think
whole
I could
new
play
set.
100 songs in 30 minutes.
Yeah, right. For sure, like literally, like it was a Canelo fight on Saturday, and we got invited to go watch it, and I'm like, no, dude, like I have to get my music done, because if not, so I could practice all weekend, because I knew this weekend we were gonna be super busy.
Yeah.
And I ended up not going. I watched it at home, and I'm like, I have to get $160 worth of music down to. I usually give myself like a budget, because if not, if I'm spending 160 and I'm getting paid like 200 or whatever, then it doesn't really add up.
That's like 3 gallons of gas extra.
Yeah, exactly. So I tried to. So I brought it down to 70, but at the end of the day, they're like new toys for me.
Oh, nice.
I love new music.
So one of my last questions here for you, Rosie, and we appreciate your presence. If you had a chance to change anything in the industry, what would you change?
Well, I don't care if I get hated on.
No,
But
be honest.
and sometimes I see like, not so much. I commend the techno scene, and and they really like go out of their way to like book female DJs. And I don't think like, oh, let's just put a girl DJ because we have to be diverse. Like, I'm not saying that, but I think the inequality is just so one-sided that people and promoters have to make an effort to like try to give, because freaking female DJs kick ass. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And sometimes, yeah, thank you very much. We have to work harder just to get the same recognition, if not less. We have to do the makeup. We have to do the nice, the outfits. And, I'm not blonde and I don't have big boobs. So I have to make sure my music accounts for, like, be able to, like, show the talent. But I think definitely, and I've been seeing, like, even just, like, with, like, I was seeing, like, the OG campground at EDC or whatever. And it's just like dudes. And I see that more with the house community. And I always like, anytime I speak to like people who do house, I'm like, I do play house. I love playing house.
There's a lot of clicks out there.
Yeah, but it's
Right.
always like, I just feel like there's not enough opportunity given
Absolutely.
to the female DJs and
They
artists.
just do the same people over and over again.
And so, and I just really hope, like, there are some promoters out there. Shout out to AJ Mora.
Yeah.
And he always, like, he will never look me up, like, pass me by. Like, there's, when they were doing the Havana House, for a little bit, I got to play a couple times there with, when they were doing, like, I think they were doing, like, Thursdays or something. They were doing a house event. I got to play there twice, and they were having some girls, like, rotate. But, when you see, like, 10 dudes and one girl,
Yeah.
I just, like, it breaks my heart, because I'm like, why? Like, sometimes it's just, like, why do I even try?
Just
you
like
know?
Depeche Mode said, get the balance right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, actually, Depeche Mode had Kelly Lee Owens open for, and she's a badass fucking DJ. She plays live. I was, because of Depeche Mode, we saw her and she freaking kicked ass. And she actually opened for Underworld at the Shrine as a DJ set, and she fucking killed it.
Right on.
So shout out to Depeche Mode for booking a female to open for them. But yeah, I think the just the balance is just so off. So I think, I really hope that all the crews out there, not just techno, not just house, really make an effort to try to just give book a girl DJ maybe more than just once. I would love for that to change. And other than that, I mean, yeah, not the same DJs over and over again. I mean, I can only see Mark Farina so many times.
Right?
Sorry.
Tell him.
Tell him.
I love him, but
Tell him. It's out
I
there,
love
man. It's
him.
like, man, again?
I love him, but I'm just like, man, yeah.
All right, Bandit.
Right on. This will be it's not a question, but we appreciate you being here. And where can our followers find you? On Instagram, or what are your handles?
Well, Instagram on Rosie Love LA. On Facebook, you can find me as Rosie Techno Love or just Rosie Love LA. Also, I have a fan page there. I created a little Twitch, but it's not even worth mentioning. That was just during COVID. I think everybody was doing Twitch. But I have the worst luck with recording live. Other than that, yeah, mostly just Instagram, Rosie Love LA. I use that a lot for any of my gigs, any of my promotions, supporting people, putting out new music. My SoundCloud also, I always try to put at least one new mix every season. I have a summer and I have a winter and I have a spring mix. I just try to, life gets in the way. It gets tough, but yeah, on SoundCloud, Rosie Love LA also. So it's SoundCloud/Rosie Love LA.
Right on. So we want to thank you, Rosie, for showing up today behind the headphones, episode 14. We're grateful for your presence. Love it for the stories that you've given us today. More insight of really who you are. As you heard, she's a DJ from back in the day, man, and she'll bring the heat for sure. So give her a chance. Check her out. Again, we thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I love, when you asked me to be here, I was like I said, I love house music. People think because my name's Rosie Techno Love. Every time they put Rosie Techno Love, though, I'm like, it's not Techno Love, it's Rosie Love. Because I love all music. So thank you for having me, and it's been really fun.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have Mama J coming up here shortly from Lick and Dip. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to turn it around right now.
Awesome. Ooh, I got 5 bites.
I think we got bit about 800 times right here.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we need a blood
sure.
transfusion. Here, please.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, totally. I'm gonna have to take some Benadryl and shit.
Emergency. can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me and I'll show you what you wanna see. You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me if you need some love and ecstasy. You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me and I'll show you what you wanna see. You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me if you need some love and ecstasy. can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me and I'll show you what you wanna see. You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me if you need some love and ecstasy. You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me and I'll show you what you wanna see. You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me if you need some love and ecstasy.
Solo? yourself?
if you want to use Lick and Dip, I'm DJ at Lick and Dip.
Okay.
You want me to put go like?
AL3XANDROVA.
Yeah, sure.
AL3XANDROVA.
Yeah, good job. Very good.
Okay, we're ready.
Is that where you push it? Yeah. Is it my finger? I don't know.
Maybe if the mosquitoes hit it, it'll go on.
Yeah. Come on, train them. You should train them. They're living here rent free.
Right? Just charge them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what
You're
he's
taking all
doing.
that-
Let
taking
me
all that
exit the
blood
app
from us.
and go back. And I don't know. This.
AL3XANDROVA.
Yeah, good job. She's saying it's so
There it
good.
is.
Okay, so now I need to turn the camera. Okay, it's working.
Bingo.
Hi everyone, we're here. Impromptu interview.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in Behind the Headphones, episode 14. We have a special guest here tonight. Mama J had errands to run, a lot of emergencies. Plus, she has a gig tonight, Lick and Dip. Please support her, Mama J. Tonight at 11 o'clock, she'll be playing with Lost at the Rave, my boy Joey. But right now, we have AL3XANDROVA, who also plays at Lick and Dip. She's also heavy in the scene right now. She just played in Orange County. She's got some gigs out of state in Hawaii and San Luis Obispo coming up and everything else. And again, we're grateful for people that want to be on this show. I got my boy Bandit right here. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for AL3XANDROVA.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I'm super flattered to be in this podcast.
We thank you. We thank you. So, where did you grow up?
So I was born in Bulgaria, and then I grew up in Russia. Then I moved to France, and then I came to the States.
That was quick. I wasn't ready for that.
What year did you come to the United States?
What year?
What year?
Area or year?
What year?
Shoot. 2003.
Oh, okay. Right on.
I
So-
lived on the East Coast for 17 years.
New York?
No, Florida, Tampa Bay area.
Very
Okay.
nice. Florida's nice. They have a good scene out there. My boy Dave King runs that part of town. What's up, Dave? If you're watching, bro,
I don't
we appreciate it.
know if a bro runs it or a sister runs it. It's okay.
Right on. So, what got you into DJing?
It's actually a really funny story. I never thought I would be a DJ. I decided to become a DJ because none of my DJ friends wanted to spin my tracks that I was producing and putting all my heart and soul into it. And since I grew up as a classical pianist, I had too much classical music in my tracks, and they're like, oh, it's too complicated. Nobody wants to listen to that. It needs to be simple chord progression with 4 on the floor and blah, blah, blah. I ain't gonna play it. So I said, okay, well, then I'll become a DJ. So I tried to learn by myself, and it was really boring. Because as I said, I was coming from a classical background and practicing classical pieces, concertos for 8 hours a day. Growing up, DJing was super boring, especially if I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Sorry if I'm not PG.
That's fine.
We're on the internet. It's all good. It's like Sirius
It's
XM.
all out there. But anyway, so I was open format DJ. I learned on turntables, went to MI, and
Nice.
learned a bunch of different tricks and then softwares. So now I can DJ on, you give me anything, I can DJ on it. And it suddenly got interesting once I knew what the heck I was doing. And as I mentioned, I was open format all over the place, but I did grow up in the, the rave culture of Love Parade, if you heard it. Techno is my love and my happy place. And about a couple of years ago, I started niching down in techno, and now I'm like in a really small niche between 132 and 165 BPM.
Wow, right on.
Nice.
Hard techno.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely hard. That's going deep right there.
Yep. It's my happy place, and also, of course, for branding purposes, I want to be known as that niche person, and staying in my lane. And then once I started DJing and knew what I was doing, I fell in love with the dance floor, and I found my happy place. I love the dance floor and the energy it brings
me, and I also bring it back to the dance floor. So it's like a synergetic exchange of energy. It's beautiful. I live for that. And my second happy place, and not necessarily on the second place, it's the studio. I literally live and breathe in my studio, producing music all day long or all night long, depending on the schedule of my performances. Sometimes sleep is needed, but also I ended up sleeping many times in the studio with my dogs.
Right on. Do you play a lot of your own tracks when you DJ?
Yes.
Mostly?
Not mostly, but recently I started playing a shit ton of my tracks, and I love that. People like them because at first, like every artist, you're not so sure whether you're biased or they're actually good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, especially my latest release, it's called Divine Paradigm Remix of Liquid Fish and Submersive. That remix is so banging. I love it, and it's not just my opinion. Everybody who hears it like literally loves it so much, and it's a perfect representation of who I am as an artist. Since my last release, that was music, because I released meditation for my birthday last year, from all things. But this track is a perfect presentation of who I am as an artist in terms of BPM and vibe and everything like that. And last release was 2 years ago, and it's not who I am as an artist currently, so I'm super proud of this Divine Paradigm that just got released 2 weeks ago.
Right on. So where can we find your music?
I'm AL3XANDROVA on all platforms, and that's my last name, and it's actually, even though it's long, it's abbreviated. It's abbreviated as much as I could. It's AL3XANDROVA.
Right on.
Right on.
So, you say you produce your music, you're writing your own music and everything else. What was your first DJ equipment?
Yeah, I still have it. Although I need to fix, because like I have a puppy also that ate the RCAs of my turntable, so I have to.
Oh man!
Fido!
Out of all places, out of all
Right?
things.
So I have two 1200s and mixer. Those were my first DJ equipment, but I also have like a bunch of other stuff right now. In the moment, like it's just a bundle of things right now. I have a Tractor S4 because it's good for my techno tracks, and with the remix decks of F1 that I plug in different loops and things, whatever I want to put in next to it. It's programmable. It's a MIDI controller, and I also have the RMX 1000 hooked up to everything, so everything is filtered through that. It's an effect box. It's really good for techno.
Nice.
And a bunch of keyboards. Often I play live piano and some vocals and synths and things like that while I'm DJing. And that actually turns out to be pretty good. I thought at first people were gonna throw tomatoes and potatoes at me when I go on stage, but they actually like
Free
it.
groceries.
Yeah, people like that, so I do more of that now. Not on every gig, depending on where I'm going.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to drag big ass keyboards and things.
So were your parents behind your decision to be a DJ, or did they have
no.
any involvement in that?
Not at all. I mean, oh my gosh. You're doing what now with your life? I hear from like all relatives, and my dad even like, what's a DJ? Didn't even know that. I come from a very conservative family. My dad was in the army, actually 13th command in Bulgarian army, super conservative, both my parents. And growing up as a classical pianist, I was doing concerts all over Eastern Europe, and then now what I'm doing with my life, DJing. What is this? For them it's kind of like a degradation, but they don't really understand. So I'm good with that. I'm happy. I love my life.
That's all that matters, really.
And brings so much happiness on the dance floor that it's just unexplainable. I cannot be serving to my parents. The thing is that they're just so conservative that if you're not a doctor or a lawyer, which both of these professions, no offense, I have friends that are doing those for living, I don't really respect those professions as something legit, because it's a very long story. If I go into that rabbit hole, it will be a very long interview. But I'm nothing against it. It's just there are certain things that need to be changed, and we need new things coming in, and new technology, and new information, and new schooling when it comes to both of those professions. And for my parents, that's something super legit. So there you go.
Right on.
Right on.
Yeah.
So, when you learned how to DJ on on vinyl, was it hard to transition to like the controller or the or producing music?
No, I was producing music way before. Like actually, I had to practice the piano for 8 hours a day every single day
Wow.
growing up. Even though there was a point in some of the countries in Eastern Europe, we had this regime of electricity where they stop all electricity for a few hours every single day. I don't know why, but like it's a thing. And I still needed to practice on freaking candles,
Wow.
dripping on the keys, on the sheet music everywhere.
Well, nothing stops you.
Well, no, I was like, I had to practice 8 hours a day, and not because I wanted to necessarily, but I was going somewhere with that because my parents don't have musical background. They didn't know what I was doing right, so I was just fucking around on the piano, and they thought I was practicing, which then, like, they always were puzzled. Why are your teachers always say you don't do this? And I'm like, I don't know. And I knew because I was just fucking around, not really doing my assignments. But the little did I know, I was actually developing my talent of composing. I was just, coming up with things on my own. And now these pieces are huge. Now that I'm all grown, or I think I'm all grown. So these pieces are freaking amazing. But it took a lifetime to develop, the technique and the practice and the melodies and the harmonies and everything all combined together. So no, it was not hard. It was like a natural thing. But as I said, I became a DJ just so I can spin my own tracks.
Yeah.
But then I fell in love with the dance floor, and it's just so amazing now. So
Right.
now the two things really go together, hand by hand. I do music the moment I wake up to the moment I go to bed. And there's so many aspects of it, from performing to even doing interviews like that. I consider this part of music because we're all music people here.
Yeah.
And we're all driven to derive to the community as much contribution as we can. And we're
That's
all
correct.
pro growth,
Yeah.
which are my highest values, growth and contribution in the moment.
Right on.
Right on. Do you ever get nervous before a gig or yeah?
I used to get really nervous. Like I was 6 years old. I remember I had to play this piece on piano. I was so freaking nervous. Everything was shaking. All my hands were shaking. All my hands.
All of them,
Yeah,
huh?
all of
Wow.
my
There's
hands
5 more back here.
And legs were shaking so much. I literally couldn't control my body. I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. I was not breathing. Oh, the keys looked the same, black and white. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But shaking hands on a piano works.
It was really hard. But then you kind of get used to the nervousness, kind of like with everything with stage. And then I started modeling at really early age to pay bills and stuff. So modeling broke me out of my shell a lot. I did a lot of runaway and print and all kinds of shows, and it's just one of those things that just kind of brought me into the next level of being on stage. So that nervousness wasn't there anymore. I just go there and own it pretty much. And not because like who am I, but it's because I'm there to bring contribution. It's not all about me, and my energy really affects the energy of everyone else in the room.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that.
Right on.
So no, I don't get nervous.
Do you still collect? Do you collect vinyl?
I have so much vinyl. It's insanity. And they need to fix those turntables. As I said, the RCAs are eaten. One of them the power cord, and the other one is the RCA. So both of them are fucked up. and the thing is that they're not that you can take them out and replace them.
Yeah.
You have to open the turntables because they're the traditional
Yeah.
1200s. So yeah, somebody's got to do it.
You hear that out there? Who's a repair person?
Where's Cool Whip? He had the hookup.
He has the hookup, that's for sure. What kind of besides your parents wanted you to become like a lawyer or a doctor or anything else? What were you focused on prior to being a DJ?
Well, I was making music, producing. It wasn't my main focus because like I own other businesses, and my main occupation most of the time I was spending teaching music students, and mainly teaching the parents actually how to deal with their kids, because you learn how to grow your kids by doing it, not necessarily you
That's
study
true.
that
Being
in school
involved.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So we did many performances with the little kids and the bigger kids. Not so many with the adult students because they're very shy and intimidated for some reason in front of. Am I close enough or fine?
I got you. Keep talking.
Yeah, so I had a ton of students, and now I still have the school. However, I have teachers that work for me, and I also teach teachers right now with different things to coach them from mindset to teaching how to teach. And the music school is a big part of me, and it's great. It always has been and always will be there. Even though I'm really focused on my.
So you're full-blown music person for sure.
Oh yeah, I live and breathe music.
So how many instruments do you play?
Oh gosh, I don't know. If you come to my house, you will be like surprised the kinds of. I don't even know the names of most of them.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's insanity, and I just do that for fun. But then I put stuff in my trucks. Oh, that kind of sounds like that could be right there. You puzzle things together, and
Nice.
yeah, some amazing things happen sometimes. But I also do sound baths and healing sessions with special crystal bows and percussion and things that are more like acoustic oriented per se, without the electronic music. And those are really good elements also for electronic music. Should you record something and make it into a loop, or the sky is the limit what we can do with technology. I would say that like if you embrace technology, you can unleash creativity.
Yeah, some people don't like to evolve with the technology, but I think you have to.
Yeah, like my dad.
Hey, Dad.
No offense, but yeah, he knows that. He's like, can you check my email for me? No. Can you wipe my butt for me?
We've passed that stage. Describe yourself in 5 words.
Oh, you feel that one?
Yeah, I got a sigh of relief.
You really got me with this one.
Come on, 5 words. You got it.
Techno you, I always will.
There you go.
Wow.
Is that fine?
Well, that got me.
Oh, snap. No, it is my phrase and hashtag, but I never realized that it's 5 words, and I just counted it real fast in my head. But
Right
then I
on.
was like, maybe I was wrong. And then I was- but it's not. Yeah.
What is it about
Good one.
producing music and DJing that makes you passionate? Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Lots of things. Where do I start? It's a lot of giving back to the world, and kind of like Mozart. I mean, I had to study all of those people's lives and outlooks, and like all of them were cuckoo, but we're all cuckoo in our own way.
Correct.
And yeah, giving back to the world. Now, like hundreds of years later, we still play their pieces, and they're still so phenomenal and amazing and mind blowing. It's just amazing, giving back to the world, because musicians never die.
True.
It's true.
True.
It's true.
Yeah.
Music's been going on forever.
Shout out to her movement. She said you're very what did she say?
Oh, her movement.
Talented woman, and you're shining. She likes
Yeah,
your
for
style.
sure.
It's the hat, but thank you. I appreciate
It's
that.
the lighting and her aura for sure. What since you have your own studio, you have your own business and everything else. You said that you like to dance.
Oh heck yeah.
Was that
Ask
also?
Mama J.
There you go.
When she comes back here, I love dancing so much. Yeah, I never like took class. Well, you know what? I took a couple of ballroom dancing. That would be fun with a partner. Hey, you out there that have boyfriends and girlfriends, ballroom dancing instead of like bar drinking or whatever, or in addition to, it would be great bonding experience, because you get to learn together, you get to move together, and it's very bonding. It's very cool, and also frees up the body, the flow state.
It's very elegant ballroom dancing.
Yeah.
Very elegant.
Or salsa and bachata, whatever
Yeah. Whatever moves you.
floats your boat.
Yeah. As they say, Bandit.
Do you have any pre-show rituals or stuff that gets you pumped up before you're gonna DJ?
I don't think I need to be more pumped up. Gosh, However, I do have something that, like, I think it would be really helpful for anyone that's going on stage, regardless if it's public speaking or DJing or playing a piano or singing or whatever. People get stage fright so crazy, all right? But the way to overcome that is like just take a few minutes to stay away from people because they get you nervous. Like, I'll give an example with the little kids when they're about to play a piano piece or sing or whatever, and they're all freaked out, but they get even more freaked out when, like, their parents are, oh, let me fix your shirt. Oh, it's, really
It's even worse.
or your hair.
Like,
And
get
they
away.
start touching them, because they're nervous for them. Like, if their kid is going to perform well or whatever, for various reasons, it's different people in demographics. But just stay away from people. Center, go to your center. And it's not about you. Think it's about giving to the community, to whoever is there, gracing them with your presence, but they're gracing you with their presence too. So it's like a exchange of energy. It's not like all about you. Look at me, because there's a lot of those too, and you can see it, pinpoint them.
Right.
Like next artist.
Yeah.
What's your greatest strength or weakness?
I think my core values are my greatest strength. Growth and contribution in the moment, and I did learn that from a mentor of mine, Tony Robbins. I love Tony, and he showed me the way in many ways. Weakness, oh gosh, when it comes to relationships and picking men, probably that. So I'm practicing celibacy and sobriety now for fixing myself, and I don't know that it needs much fixing or anything. It's going great right now because I'm super focused, laser focused on my career, and it's all this that matters in the moment. But that would be the weakness, picking men. Sheesh.
What's been the most rewarding part of you being a DJ?
The energetic exchange on the dance floor, and small, big, it doesn't matter for that exchange. However, the bigger the dance floor, the more people there are, the bigger that energy exchange is. And people are just so lovely. The dance community they're not there to judge you, like most people think when they first start out. Doesn't matter if it's like a concert hall or a dance place. They're not there to judge you. But I can tell you, it's a big difference between playing a classical concert as a lifestyle and being a DJ, because classical concert doesn't matter how good you are and how virtuosic. Okay, great, clapping, and in half an hour they're sitting in their chair, they're yawning with their wine, but on the dance floor they're engaged, always, 100%, unless they're like not, and they're crawling somewhere. But the whole point
Yeah.
is that they're part of the whole creation of the event. Well, in concert halls, it's just like they just clap, and they always clap the same. So and then
It's
they
like repetitive.
just sitting. It's more of a like pressure. I don't really love doing that. I never did. The concerts with the orchestra and all that. I know it's like a big accomplishment or whatever, especially if you ask my parents or my music teachers growing up. But for me, it's like that's not, still do it once in a while, but it's not as rewarding as my daily life.
Right on.
Did you play sports growing up?
Yes, I did karate for many years. I was my country's champion.
Nice.
Yeah, something happened on one of the. Okay. I did karate do shotokan and third degree black belt.
Nice.
So like a blue belt, black belt, purple belt? Which one?
I'm third degree black belt.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, I do yoga daily and I teach it as well. It's like part of my life, always been for a long time, and it's part of my music school too. Have courses and classes and things like that, and everything is all connected with music and vibration and all that.
Right on. This will be my final question. Where can our viewers come check you out and hear your wonderful music? Because it sounds like you have
You
quite
got
a
stuff going on.
yeah.
For sure.
We
Yeah, I do.
definitely want to hear you.
Thank you. I have a mixes on SoundCloud. It's the same name, AL3XANDROVA, what?
Yeah, how do you spell your name again?
ALE. Oh no, I'm sorry. I got distracted by the phone getting burned out of the temperature. You know what the iPhone went on.
Yeah.
It's AL3XANDROVA, Alexandrova, with a 3 and X.
Instead of an E, it's a 3.
Yeah, and instead of a KS, like my last name is, it's an X. So I try to make it shorter, but it's too
Right on.
long. I know. Yeah, so that's on SoundCloud. I have a lot of mixes, and I have some of my tracks there. Otherwise, my tracks are on all the platforms. I did leave all the tracks since the very first release because I want people to be able to trace my progress as an artist. And now looking back, some of those tracks are ooh, just makes me cringe. But at the same time, I want people to be able to see where I came from.
Right
There's
on.
a lot of classical piano in them.
Right on.
And my last question for you, my dear. What would you do to change, if you had a chance to change something in this industry? What would you change?
Oh, I really like what Rosie Love said about looking into booking more girls DJs, and I definitely see that a lot where it's just the homies are booking themselves, but hey yo, you have homies that are girls too. Hello.
Right.
We're trying to break that trend.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
Definitely. That's why
we
we're
are
bringing
all-
female.
yeah.
I know they're out there, for sure.
Yeah, the new wave of DJs are all collaborative and not competitive. And I see a lot of older dudes that are thinking I'm their competition, Oh, young chick, look good. Actually, I kick ass. I mix well, okay? And I play music good, and so are all my girlfriends. We're all top-notch DJs, and it's your problem that you're getting irrelevant, with this competition mindset. You're not gonna get very far, buddy.
Yeah.
Tell you.
Right?
Think
That's right.
about collaboration over competition.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You'll grow
That's
more.
Exactly it. There's too many clicks out there because you see the same people over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so much talent like yourself, Rosie, and I know it personally. Just seeing it. My boy knows it for sure, and we're grateful. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in behind the headphones with our great substitute, AL3XANDROVA, right here from Bulgaria. Check her out on her streams. She's also on Facebook and Instagram. Bandit and myself have our party tonight. Move Your Body at Cities. We're going to be heading there here shortly. Episode 15 will be at you in 2 weeks with a special flyer coming out next week. But until then, AL3XANDROVA.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
much.
much
It
for
was a
being here.
pleasure.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
being here.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for tuning in behind the headphones. Thank you.